Warning, viewer discretion advised. This video contains content that may be disturbing or triggering to some viewers. It includes detailed descriptions of violent crimes, graphic imagery, and discussions of sensitive topics such as murder, assault, and other criminal activities. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you are sensitive to such content, please consider watching another video. Stay safe and take care of your mental health. The double life of Pastor Timothy Tillman, deceit, murder, and betrayal. Found dead from a gunshot wound in the parsonage behind the Vincent Revival Center in Alabama, where her husband, Timothy Tillman, served as pastor. Initially, Timothy claimed the shooting was an accident that occurred while he was handling shotguns used in a church fundraiser. However, the circumstances surrounding Janet's death and Timothy's subsequent actions raised suspicions. Investigations revealed that Timothy had been living a double life, having an affair with a woman in Mississippi and lying about his marital status. Just months before Janet's death, Timothy had proposed to this woman, creating a web of deceit that ultimately unraveled in the courtroom. In addition to the murder charge, Timothy was also convicted of criminal possession of a forged instrument for forging Janet's signature on a check posthumously. This forged check was part of a broader investigation that brought Timothy's financial motives into question, linking them to the tragic event. Join us as we explore the evidence, the courtroom drama, and the psychological underpinnings of this case. How did a trusted pastor's life take such a sinister turn? Stay tuned to uncover the full story behind the murder of Janet Lorita Tillman. The church, while his wife, Janet Lorita Tillman, supported him and their family. Their marriage appeared stable to outsiders, but cracks were forming behind closed doors. Janet Lorita Tillman was beloved in her community, known for her kind heart and dedication to her family. Born and raised in a close-knit community, Janet embodied the values of compassion and service. Friends and family describe her as a devoted mother and a supportive wife, always putting the needs of others before her own. Her involvement in church activities was significant, often organizing events and supporting her husband's pastoral duties. Timothy Tillman's journey to becoming a pastor was marked by ambition and charisma. He joined the Vincent Revival Center with a vision to expand its outreach and engage the community. His sermons were well received, and he quickly gained a reputation as a passionate and caring leader. However, Timothy's outward persona masked a complex and darker side. Behind the scenes, he struggled with personal demons and moral conflicts that would eventually lead to a catastrophic downfall. Timothy Tillman and Janet met in the early 1980s and married in December 1983. From the outset, they appeared to be a quintessential American family. Janet was supportive, helping Tillman pursue his calling in ministry. The couple had 2 daughters, their lives marked by relocations that mirrored Tillman's evolving career ambitions. Timothy and Janet's marriage, though outwardly ideal, was fraught with underlying tension. As Timothy's responsibilities at the church grew, so did the distance between him and Janet. Friends noted subtle changes in their interactions. What once seemed like a partnership now appeared strained. Despite these challenges, Janet remained steadfast in her support, trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy for their family, religious studies and ministry work. Eventually, they relocated to Alabama in 2000, where Tillman took on the role of pastor at Vincent Revival Center. This congregation, part of the Assembly of God, welcomed the Tillman family, and they quickly became integral members of the community. Tillman's position at the Vincent Revival Center was not just a job, it was a fulfillment of his spiritual mission. However, this role required official credentialing by the Alabama District Council of the Assembly of God. Tillman initially completed a preliminary application but delayed the submission of the official application, which required a criminal background check. This procrastination hinted at underlying issues and perhaps a fear of past indiscretions coming to light. In the congregation, Timothy led a double life. He engaged in an extramarital affair, adopting the false identity of a divorced Navy officer named Timothy Patrick McNally. This alter ego allowed him to escape the pressures of his pastoral duties and indulge in a life starkly different from his reality. Timothy's relationship with his mistress grew serious, to the point where he proposed marriage to her, envisioning a future together far removed from his life with Janet. Timothy's deceit extended beyond his affair. He manipulated those around him, using his position as a pastor to gain trust and conceal his true intentions. His ability to present himself as a devoted husband and spiritual leader while secretly planning a new life with another woman showcased the depth of his duplicity. This web of lies created a fragile facade that would eventually crumble under the weight of his actions. Financial issues plagued the Tillman family, exacerbating the strains on their marriage. Tillman's affair was not merely a moral failing but a financial one, as he siphoned resources to support his double life. These financial difficulties added pressure, and Janet's life insurance policy became a potential solution to his monetary woes. The prospect of financial gain from her death presented a dark and desperate incentive that played a crucial role in the events leading up to October 2005. Both Timothy and Janet were deeply involved in their community. The Vincent Revival Center was not just a place of worship but a hub for community activities and support. Janet often organized charity events, outreach programs, and support groups, reflecting her commitment to service. Timothy's role as a pastor put him in the public eye, and his charisma drew many to the church. However, the community's trust in him would be severely tested as the truth about his actions came to light. On October 26, 2005, a tragedy struck. Janet Tillman was shot in the back with a shotgun. Timothy claimed the shooting was accidental, stating that the gun discharged while he was adjusting firearms used for a church turkey shoot. The couple was carrying these guns from his vehicle into the parsonage when the fatal shot was fired. According to Timothy, he and Janet were both carrying shotguns when one of the guns accidentally discharged. However, the evidence suggested otherwise. The positioning and trajectory of the shot raised questions about the plausibility of his story. In the weeks leading up to Janet's death, there were signs of strain in their marriage. Timothy's involvement with his mistress was becoming more serious, and he had even written letters to her, expressing his desire to marry her and create a new life together. These letters later played a crucial role in the investigation, providing insight into Timothy's state of mind and his possible motives. On the day of the incident, the couple had participated in a turkey shoot event organized by the church. Timothy had suggested this event as a way to raise funds for hurricane victims, showcasing his ability to blend charitable deeds with his darker intentions. After the event, as they were handling the firearms, Janet was shot. Timothy's immediate reaction was to claim it was an accident, but inconsistencies in his story soon began to emerge. As the investigation unfolded, more details came to light. It was revealed that Timothy had been planning a future with his mistress, going so far as to propose to her and envision a new life together. The facade of a happy marriage was quickly deteriorating, and the true nature of Timothy's deceit was exposed. As investigators delved deeper into the case, several inconsistencies and contradictions emerged. The forensic analysis of the crime scene and Janet's injuries provided critical insights that contradicted Tillman's account of the accidental discharge. The trajectory of the bullet was a pivotal piece of evidence. Experts determined that the bullet entered Janet's back at an angle that was inconsistent with Tillman's claim of accidentally dropping the shotgun. The positioning of the wound suggested that Janet was shot from a deliberate angle, indicating that the shooter had aimed the weapon at her. Additionally, the lack of gunshot residue on Tillman's hands further undermined his story of an accidental discharge. Typically, handling a recently fired shotgun would leave traceable residue, but forensic tests found no such evidence on Tillman. Investigators also scrutinized the shotguns involved in the incident. They examined the mechanisms to determine if an accidental discharge was plausible. The shotgun that fired the fatal shot was found to be in proper working condition, with safety features designed to prevent accidental firing. This further suggested that the shooting was not a result of a mechanical malfunction or accidental handling. The crime scene itself offered additional clues. The location of Janet's body and the blood spatter patterns indicated that she had been shot while stationary, rather than in the midst of a chaotic accident. The careful examination of the parsonage revealed no signs of a struggle or accidental disturbance that would support Tillman's narrative. Tillman's behavior immediately following the shooting also raised suspicions. Witnesses reported that he was unusually composed and methodical in the aftermath of the incident. Rather than displaying shock or distress typical of accidental shootings, Tillman appeared focused on controlling the situation and providing his version of events to the authorities. His calculated demeanor and the quick actions to explain the incident as an accident suggested a premeditated attempt to cover up a deliberate act. A significant aspect of the prosecution's case revolved around the financial motives that could have driven Tillman to murder his wife. Investigators uncovered evidence of Tillman's dire financial situation, compounded by his extramarital affair and the need to maintain a facade of stability. Janet Tillman's life insurance policy, valued at a substantial amount, became a focal point. The potential financial gain from her death provided a compelling motive, painting a picture of a man driven to desperate measures to solve his monetary woes. Shortly after Janet's death, Tillman forged her signature on a $5,000 loan check, which he deposited into their joint account. This act of forgery, though seemingly minor, played a crucial role in establishing Tillman's pattern of deceit and financial desperation. It demonstrated his willingness to manipulate and deceive for financial gain, further reinforcing the prosecution's argument that Janet's murder was premeditated. As the investigation progressed, the cumulative evidence painted a damning picture of Tillman's guilt. The combination of forensic contradictions, financial motives, and Tillman's suspicious behavior led authorities to arrest him on charges of murder and criminal possession of a forged instrument. The arrest marked the beginning of a legal battle that would delve into the depths of Tillman's deceit and the tragic loss of Janet Tillman. Details of the investigation. The investigation into Janet's death revealed several inconsistencies in Timothy's account. His behavior and actions before and after the incident drew further suspicion. Investigators discovered that Timothy had forged Janet's signature on a check after her death to cover household expenses and her headstone, leading to additional charges of forgery. The forged check raised red flags among investigators. It was dated several months after Janet's death, and Timothy's explanation for the forgery was dubious. He claimed it was necessary to cover expenses, but the timing and the method raised questions about his motives and his financial situation at the time. As the investigation progressed, more troubling details about Timothy's behavior emerged. His erratic actions and contradictory statements added to the growing suspicion that Janet's death was not an accident. The investigators meticulously pieced together the timeline of events, uncovering evidence that painted a different picture. Key testimonies from church members and forensic experts painted a different picture of the incident. The prosecution argued that the physical evidence did not support Timothy's claim of an accidental shooting. The angle and distance of the shot indicated it was unlikely to have been fired accidentally in the manner Timothy described. Forensic experts testified that the trajectory of the bullet was inconsistent with an accidental discharge. The positioning suggested that the gun was aimed deliberately, contradicting Timothy's account. Additionally, testimonies from church members revealed that Timothy had been acting erratically in the days leading up to the incident, further casting doubt on his version of events. Church members recounted Timothy's unusual behavior and comments about Janet. These testimonies were critical in establishing a motive and demonstrating that the couple's relationship was not as perfect as it seemed. The forensic analysis further supported the theory that Janet's death was not an accident. The prosecution built a compelling case based on the physical evidence and testimonies. The angle of the shot, the nature of the wound, and the circumstances of the incident all pointed towards foul play. The inconsistencies in Timothy's story and his suspicious actions after Janet's death were crucial in swaying the jury. During the trial, the prosecution presented a compelling case against Timothy. Despite his defense arguing procedural errors, including the consolidation of murder and forgery charges, Timothy was convicted of both crimes. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The trial was marked by dramatic revelations and emotional testimonies. Friends and family of Janet spoke about her loving nature and the devastating impact of her loss. The defense's attempts to paint the incident as a tragic accident were undermined by the weight of the evidence and the persuasive arguments of the prosecution. Timothy's conviction was a relief to many who had followed the case closely. The verdict brought a sense of justice for Janet, though it could never undo the pain and loss experienced by her loved ones. The trial highlighted the importance of thorough investigations and the need for accountability. One of the primary points of contention in the appeals process was the consolidation of the murder and forgery charges. The defense argued that combining these charges in a single trial was prejudicial and influenced the jury's perception of Tillman. The appellate court agreed, noting that the charges were not sufficiently related to warrant consolidation and that this had resulted in actual prejudice against Tillman. Another significant issue in the appeals was the admission of collateral act evidence, which included allegations of past misconduct such as sexual offenses, drug abuse, and financial improprieties. The defense contended that this evidence was not directly relevant to the murder charge and should have been excluded. The appellate court highlighted the need for a careful re-evaluation of such evidence under the rules governing collateral crimes, emphasizing the importance of a fair trial. The media played a significant role in shaping public perception of the Tillman case. From the moment of Janet's death, local news outlets covered the story extensively, highlighting the shocking nature of the crime and the community's reaction. As the investigation unfolded, the media provided detailed accounts of Tillman's double life, his financial troubles, and the dramatic courtroom proceedings. This coverage not only informed the public but also influenced opinions and emotions within the community. The community's reaction to the Tillman case was one of disbelief and betrayal. Many had seen Tillman as a pillar of the community, a man dedicated to his faith and family. The revelation of his affair, financial misconduct, and the alleged premeditated murder of his wife shattered this image. Public sentiment was overwhelmingly against Tillman, with many struggling to reconcile the man they knew with the crimes he was accused of committing. To fully comprehend Tillman's actions, it's essential to delve into his psychological state. Experts in the field of psychology might suggest that Tillman's behavior exhibited signs of narcissistic personality disorder, characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, a need for excessive admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. His ability to lead a double life, deceive those closest to him, and pursue an extramarital affair while maintaining his pastoral duties could be indicative of these traits. The financial difficulties faced by the Tillman family undoubtedly contributed to the stress and desperation experienced by Timothy Tillman. Economic stress is a well-documented factor that can exacerbate underlying psychological issues, leading to irrational and, in some cases, criminal behavior. The pressure to maintain a facade of stability and success, coupled with the real threat of financial ruin, may have driven Tillman to view Janet's life insurance policy as a desperate means of escape. One of the key takeaways from the Tillman case is the importance of transparency and accountability within religious and community organizations. The failure to complete necessary background checks and the initial reluctance to investigate Tillman's personal life allowed his duplicity to go unnoticed for too long. Implementing stricter oversight and fostering a culture of openness can help prevent similar situations in the future. The case also highlights the critical need for mental health support for individuals in high-stress roles, such as clergy members. Providing access to counseling and mental health resources can help address underlying issues before they escalate into more severe problems. Encouraging leaders to seek help without fear of stigma can contribute to healthier, more stable communities. The tragic and complex case of Timothy Tillman serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of deceit and betrayal. From the facade of a devoted pastor to the unraveling of his hidden life, the story encapsulates themes of financial desperation, moral failure, and the far-reaching impact of crime on a community. Through a detailed examination of the events, legal proceedings, and appeals, this narrative aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of a case that continues to resonate with profound implications for both justice and human nature. The journey from the initial shock of Janet's death to the eventual conviction of Timothy Tillman is a poignant tale of human frailty, the complexities of legal battles, and the enduring strength of a community seeking justice and healing. By reflecting on this case, we can better appreciate the importance of integrity, accountability, and the need for ongoing support and vigilance within our communities. As sexual offenses, drug abuse, and financial improprieties, the defense contended that this evidence was not directly relevant to the murder charge and should have been excluded. The appellate court highlighted the need for a careful re-evaluation of such evidence under the rules governing collateral crimes, emphasizing the importance of a fair trial. Thank you for joining us in unraveling the harrowing case of Timothy Tillman and the tragic death of his wife, Janet Lorita Tillman. This case serves as a poignant reminder of the hidden complexities in seemingly ordinary lives and the far-reaching consequences of deceit and crime. If you found this story compelling and want to stay informed about similar true crime cases, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to never miss an update. Your support helps us continue to bring detailed analyses and comprehensive coverage of the most intriguing criminal cases. We encourage you to engage with us in the comments below. Share your thoughts on the case, discuss potential motives, and let us know what other cases you would like us to cover. Your interaction is invaluable to us and fosters a community of informed and thoughtful viewers. For those who wish to dive deeper into the legal intricacies of this case, you can read the detailed court documents on comments section. These sources provide comprehensive insights into the legal proceedings and evidence that shaped the outcome of this tragic story. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we continue to explore the depths of true crime. Thank you for watching, and remember, the truth always finds a way to surface.